Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. My name is Cody Lee, and I am here with another Powered Arena Cube draft. Let's jump right in. If you're new here, I upload a draft every single day. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to earn your subscription. Get down there, let me know. But let's see. First thing, we don't have any power, but we do have a Tinker. Pretty sure Tinker's the thing that we're going to start with because Tinker is broken. Being an artifact deck is probably one of the more broken things that you can do in this cube. Psychic Frog is very strong for the Reanimator deck, I will say. Whew. Honestly, a Psychic Frog might be a better pick just in general. Subtlety is also very interesting. When it enters, choose up to one target creature, spell, or planeswalker. Its owner puts it their choice at top or bottom, so basically it's a better counter spell. I do think I'm going to take the Tinker, just because Tinker will allow us to do more broken things. And 6 to blue. Blue is probably the strongest color in, draft. Here I'm looking at Remand. I'm looking at Fractured Identity. So 5 mana, exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than its controller creates a token that's a copy of it. So basically, we get to create a copy of anything on our opponent's side of the board. It is in blue-white, which is a little bit meh, but I will take it. Exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land. Ooh, and it has an overload ability. That's kind of sick, but we're going to take Fractured Identity. I think Remand might be a little bit better, but Fractured Identity is power. Here, I'm looking at like No More Lies, especially after her first two, but Talisman of Progress and Talisman of Hierarchy are both really up there. I think in this instance, we're going to take the Talisman of Progress. And we're going to be sad about passing the Hierarchy. But we do want this. We probably want the Triome as well. No More Lies would be good, I will say, but Talisman of Progress will be good for us. There's an Atraxa here. There's also a Thoughtseize and an Urza's Saga. Atraxa is very strong. The thing is that what we want to be doing? We've got a bunch of lands here. So Atraxa, 7 mana, 7/7, Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. When Atraxa enters, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type among the revealed cards in your hand, put the rest onto the bottom. So it's basically draw a whole bunch. I think we're going to take Thoughtseize, though. Thoughtseize is just very strong. It's going to fit really good in like the Esper kind of deck that we're looking to be right here. Time Spiral is interesting. Teferi is also very interesting. Like, Teferi just being a bounce, but I do think Time Spiral is very strong. Let's take Teferi. Nova Hellkite and Ghostfire Slice give us something, but I think Teferi is just a little bit stronger. Umezawa's Jit is also interesting, but I don't think that's where we want to be. That Fractured Identity art is pretty sick. Whew, there's a Brain Freeze. Are we going to be the Brain Freeze people, or are we going to take this Scrubland? I would take the Brain Freeze, but I mean, we could take the Brain Freeze, but I think we want to take the Scrubland. I do think we want the land at the end. Brain Freeze is an interesting one for us, though. It's pretty sick Scrubland art. It's kind of basic, but obviously a lot more basic than that. Meticulous Archive. There's a Collective Brutality, which is interesting. There's also a Meticulous Archive, which I think is what we're going to take, purely because it says Plains Island on it. Saheeli Sublime Artificer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact token. So like I do like that. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. So maybe that's something. But let's make sure that we have good mana. There's a Tendrils here. There's also a Dress Down, a 2-mana 2/2. Has an additional cost to cast this spell. Discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. Power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. Okay. Dress Down. When this enchantment enters, draw a card, loses all abilities. Let's take Tendrils, and we'll see if we play it. I don't think we are. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value 2 or less until this artifact leaves the battlefield. And then we can technically tinker away the portable hole. But I think the Bitter Triumph is probably pretty good for us. Prophetic Memory and Subtlety are both very interesting. I do think I'm going to take the Subtlety. Subtlety is just very strong, and I like its art. Winds of Abandon. There is Badlands here. Exile target creature you don't control. For each creature you exile this way, its controller searches their library. So like this is just removal. Go grab a land. I'll take it because it's playable. I think I'm going to take Consider, Surveil, and Draw as opposed to Night's Whisper. Unexpectedly Absent. We'll take... I don't think I want to play that. It's 2 mana, put target non-land permanent into its owner's library just beneath the top X cards of that player's library. So 2 mana put on top, which is alright. Skyclave. Swift Spear goes to the side. So, we're not looking good for Tinker. And I think we need to acknowledge that. We got a Mox Emerald in this pack, though. So we get a little bit of power. We're obviously going to take that. Elite Spellbinder is interesting. Overlord, Gideon. But we're going to take the Mox Emerald. Zauberklaus. That's interesting. I've not clicked around very much. Does it refresh in real time? We're all looking at first picks, so I assume that this will be like the longest amount of time here. Oh, it does update. I watched it. We're both sitting empty. Yeah, we're getting... Zauberklaus. Got a lot of thoughts. There's a Quantum Riddler. There's also a Comet. There's a Lion Slash. Exile this card from your graveyard if it was a permanent card. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a 1 counter. Mana Tithe, Cryptic, Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel. Like, Quantum Riddler is just very good. But Comet is also very good. And we do still have the time to get into playing red. Like 4 color, no green. And Comet is just that much better than Quantum Riddler. I played against this a number of times, and it is insane. Volcanic Island looks really good. We're going to take that. There's a Yawgmoth's Will. There's no way, man. We're going to take the Volcanic Island. And we're going to see what comes back around. It's not going to be that Yawgmoth's Will. That's for certain. But that's insane to me. Ooh, there's a Flage here, and I do want that Flage. I want this Lightning Helix as well. Elegant Parlor, Temple Garden, no. But I will take the Flage. Honestly, the only black card I have is this Thoughtseize and this Scrubland, so maybe I'm not playing black. I can just be playing red. Like, this looks just as good, I will say. Mind you, I need to get some cards that I can play. Coalition Relic. Displacer Kitten is interesting, but Ocelot Pride. 1 mana, first strike, lifelink, ascend. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. I think we're going to take the Coalition Relic. Do we take the Expedition map here? I do think we take the Expedition map. I do. Portal to Phyrexia, that's exactly what I want. Okay, cool. Sorry. Now I can actually tinker into something cool. It's kind of what I needed. Portal to Phyrexia is one of those, if you get it out, it can just win you the game. So the goal is to get it out. When the start effect enters, it deals 2 damage to any target. We're here for that. Robber of the Rich. Dark Depths does a thing. We're not playing black now. Yeah, let's take Legion Extruder. So that we have some removal. Lingering Souls. We'll take Gideon. The Overlord of the Mistmoors is interesting.
I march into battle as your champion of justice.
Lion Slash. Do we take the Glorybringer here? Or do we take the Mana Tithe? Lion Slash. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a 1/1 counter. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take Wrath of God too. Yeah, we're playing like blue, white, red control. Surveil 1. Yeah. 4 and 14. Fire Blast going to the sideboard. This is a land. We've got some white. We've got a lot of white, kind of like mid-rangey-ish elements. Ooh, there's an Anjani and a Cattle Pariah. It's one of the really, really strong cards from what I understand. So I'm going to take it. I've never had a chance to play with it. There's also a Mox Jet, so I lied about taking a Johnny. Don't. Get out of here, all of you. I don't want to hear any of you talking nothing about anything about nothing to me, okay? Sorry. That was funny. Cosmogrand Zenith is what we're going to take here because Cosmogrand Zenith is really, really good. Triplicate Titan is also pretty interesting to me. Batter Skull is interesting to me, but Cosmogrand Zenith. Virtue of Loyalty. Again, this is really, really good. When you cast a spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy this spell. Flying Lifelink 2/3. Real not awful. But there's a Virtue of Loyalty, which does a little bit more. Mana Drain, Fabled Passage. There's a Steam Vents here. But there is also a Luris. The thing is, we don't have very much down here. Sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. I think we're going to take the Steam Vents because it gives us another blue-red. We do kind of need the blue-red. How are we looking at playables? We're looking 2 off. Yeah, we'll hit playables. Well, we're looking like 3 off actually, or 4 off. Hazarat, 4 mana. Brainstorm, Botanical, Relentless, Voldan. Let's take Aether Spellbomb. Sacrifice, return target creature to hand. Unless you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. Discard a card, deals 2 damage to each opponent. There's a channel and a brainstorm. The brainstorm is interesting, but I don't have any like searches, so let's grab the cheap artifact. Endstone is something we can get into. Kellen the Trailblazer is interesting to me. 4 mana for a flash. When it entered, create a 2/2, exile a tapped creature. Like, this does stuff, but Endstone also just kind of allows us to do a lot. Kellen becomes a human fairy detective and games when deals combat. You may exile a top card. Let's take a Kellen. Let's take a Kellen and see what we can do with it. I'm thinking that Legion Extruder might need to be cut. Tolarian Academy, Lion's Eye, Spira, Adeline. Goblin Bombardment, yeah. Beza, Intrepid Adversary, Get Lost. I think we're looking at like Myr Battlesphere here. Figure of Destiny is also interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Beza. 3 mana, 3/3 and web. There's also an Ephemerate and a Flood Farm Verge. Exile target creature you control, and I only have 8 creatures. The land is good. Sarah Paragon, Touch the Realm. Removal, good. Galvanic Blast goes to the sideboard. We're at 8/8, but 2 of those are those. Fabled Passage. So we've got some good lands. We've got a weird deck. We've got a real glut at the 3s. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Create a blood token. Discard a card. Sacrifice this token. Draw a card. Interesting.
I would like to ask about any
and then the survival.
you have experienced.
We've got a little bit of a glut in the early game. It's trying to give me 17 land. We don't need to do that. So cut one of those. Cut one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Subtlety. I think subtlety is gone. Done. Play. I think we've got an interesting deck here. Now let's see what we can do. Ooh, we're looking at turn 2 Teferi Time Traveler, or a Flage, or turn 3 Gideon. I'll tap that for white. We're gonna keep that. The fact that I had to pay for my Moxen is kind of crazy. It's a good Esper Sentinel right there. Ooh. Submit. Get hit for 1. So, am I going to play this? I'm gonna sacrifice this. When I do, I'm gonna go get a white. That's gonna be tapped. Okay. Not having white on turn 2 sucks. I'm not really worried about that though. So I'm gonna do this. And when I tinker, they're gonna draw a card. But I'm gonna tinker into Portal to Phyrexia. Just gonna make them sacrifice all 3 of their cards, and I'm gonna have a Portal to Phyrexia on the battlefield. Can they remove that? I am going to get out a Esper Sentinel. Enters tapped. I'm gonna have this enter, and I'm gonna have it take out. Oh, it only hits a creature. Oh, target artifact or creature. That's my bad. I should have 100% read that. You may discard up to 2 cards, draw 2 cards. Sure. Detective's Phoenix. Enchanted creature, you may cast this card. Flying in haste. Nice. I'm gonna get to bring that back next turn. Foxborough. You gonna pay? Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have a way to get 6 into the graveyard, huh? No blocks. So I am going to and you can go get a land. And then I'm going to play this, and I'm going to play Phage. It's going to do 3 damage, and I'm going to gain 3 life. Well, I'm going to get in for 1. Create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Oh, nice. Good game. Yeah, Portal to Phyrexia is a pretty strong card when you can't really do anything to answer it. That's what you hope to do against red-white. Get a tinker early, honestly. Oof, 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 oof. Okay, so we're gonna keep this, but this is risky. We're gonna leave that on top though. Because we've got some like early game cards. I do think I'm gonna go tap this and go and get a blue. Blue, you got something there? So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play the Mox Jet so that I can so that I can pop the expedition map, because I do think I'm gonna pop the expedition map to go get one of the dual lands. Flash, okay. Whenever it attacks, exile up to one other target non-land permanent. Yeah, sure. Just dealing 2 damage to any target's kind of annoying. Elegant Parlor, Steam Vents, Volcanic. So I'm gonna cast this. And then I'm gonna cast this. And that's gonna do 2 damage there. And then this is gonna get in for 1. Guide of Soul, sure. Ignoble Iron, sure. What's a sorcery? End turn. Sacrifice another artifact. Create a 3/3 colorless golem artifact creature token. So I'm going to sacrifice my Mox Jet in order to create a token. I'm gonna not attack with the 2/2, that gives them a 3/3. Okay. Use block in here. Next. I'm gonna sacrifice to kill my Lion Sash. I'm gonna sacrifice that to get 3/3. Once upon a time. It's not the first thing you cast though. You're gonna grab yourself a land. Probably a third color is my assumption. If they're playing Ignoble Hierarch, yeah, see, I have to assume that they're playing a third color. Now, do they have a 3-drop to follow that up? Hired Claw, 1-drop. Are they gonna get in with the Guide of Souls? Yeah. I'm here for that. I do think we're gonna 100% do this. Exile target non-land permanent. Each player other than its controller creates a token that's a copy of it. I don't have any energy, but I do have your Guide of Souls. Okay, nice Abrade. Do I let those trade out? I do, right? Mainly because I can sack this to get the energy anyway, whenever I want. Yeah, sure. Return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Whenever land you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, create a 5/3. Dang, okay. Both of my red sources gone. I don't like that. Create a treasure token if your opponent has more lands than you. Gain 4 life if an opponent has more life than you. So I'm gonna play this. No attacks. I'm gonna get counters. And then I'm gonna be able to play this next turn. Hopefully that lives. We'll see what they've got. Monarch. These are scary. I am going to take 7. Because this will gain me life. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I should have played this. That's my mistake. Well, they have no cards in hand, sorry. Whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, put 2 on 1. Yes. End turn. Put a 1/1 counter. That's what I like to see. Yeah, we're just gonna block it with a 2/2 and then keep buffing up our guys. I think this is just lethal. Good game. They had a lot going on. The ramming up Titania, strip mine, lock. I'm just realizing, honestly, is not powerful enough. Too well. Not bad. All right. Currently waiting. Currently waiting. How are you guys feeling about this cube? Honestly, the more I play, the more I'm enjoying it. I think people are figuring it out. The overall aggression levels are pretty crazy, but almost to be expected. This looks sick. We're gonna keep this. Ooh, mana crypt into a Thalia. Dang. No damage from the mana crypt. I can cross my fingers. Ooh, a flage. My lion slash. Sash. Aww. Oh, they made it again. So we're gonna cross our fingers that we either draw land or we're able to in some way cast this Tinker next turn. Oh dang, that's a pretty good one. Whenever this creature enters, create a 1. Whenever you would create 1 or more creature tokens, put a story counter. Fill up response. Now the fact that they're going to be able to, well, they're not going to be able to flash. Ooh, they lost because they have to exile 5. Sacrifice it unless it escaped. So I'm just going to be able to chain that thing over and over and over again. Ugh. Was Lightning Helix necessary? I'm gonna play around the Mana Tithe. Portal to Phyrexia. See, just being able to tinker into Portal to Phyrexia is insane. They probably do have a removal spell for it. Like, they've got 3 cards in hand. They've got a bunch of cards. I'll just be able to flage every single turn is the thing. And I've got my own flage, which is kind of funny. And or Lion Slash to eat his graveyard, I should say. Yeah, they're trying to figure out what they can necessarily do. It's a rough spot. Portal to Phyrexia is a very, very strong card. This is why artifact removal is very, very important if you're going to be playing. I do hope that I'm actually able to play Kellen once. Next turn I will to Fairy. Additional cost, you may exile any number of white cards. Oh my goodness. How many Sarah Paragon wins? Okay. Well, let's enter Surveil 1. I mean, technically this will get me one lower, so yeah, let's keep it. We'll play this. Mana Tides, not Flash. Up to submit.
Might be a bad idea.
You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inti. So, Kellen. Consider. Surveil. Down. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna gain some life. I take 3. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature against trample. Whenever you discard one or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until end of turn. They've got 1, 2, 3. 1 card in hand. They're attacking. Got a blocker. You got a mountain. And they can play Flash. Flash.
I'll protect you.
I'm in a not great spot here. Whenever it attacks. Ugh. The fact that it's a whenever it attacks trigger. Two cards in hand. 5, 6. I've got 6. Okay, so we're gonna play a Kellen. Doing no damage. 2, 6, 7. Guide assaults. No blocks. Actually, I'm conceding here. Maybe not. Okay, so they're gonna be able to draw 2 cards. Staff of the Storyteller is pretty dang good for them here. They've been able to draw quite a bit. 2. This strip mine was kind of absurd. Yeah, no, that was poor. Poor luck. Nah, let's try to get again. Now we will. I think we mulligan that. I think we keep that and we put that. Alright. So we're gonna do this. My main question is, do I play this? It does not matter because we're doing this. Thoughtseize is gonna take Teferi, probably. Yeah, that's fair. If I can get this Virtual Loyalty out, I mean, he's gonna sit there. Oh, Time Walk. Dang. That's a good one. I'm not sure what you're gonna be doing here. You're playing Thoughtseize and Time Walk and Frantic Search. You discarded Island and Plateau, discarded 2 lands and said, let's go. Ooh, what does this do? Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Lingering Souls, okay.
I shall miss your company.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna save and try to play it next turn. After they, I hope they Lingering Souls flashback Lingering Souls. That's my goal. Actually, if they Lingering Souls now, I'll be in a great spot. Great. Okay. That's a little bit sad. Psychic Frog is a little bit scary. When this enters, deal 3 damage. Yeah, we're just gonna put that in the graveyard. No attacks. Because you could discard. Thing is, does he have anything crazy in there to discard right now? No, he's Time Walk, Thoughtseize. I've got a Fabled Passage in hand. Like, let's be real here. We're not doing anything crazy. Virtual Loyalty is buffing my things. We're getting buffed. No 3 cards. This creature gains flying. Ugh, I don't like that. Come on now. Whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. So they get a new card. Sleight of hand, look at the top 2, put one in your hand and the other on the bottom. Their sleeves are pretty sick here, I will say. Flashing back, Lingering Souls, alright. The fact that ugh, this just feels bad. Oh my goodness, and they get a booster tutor. We're in a rough spot. We're in a rough spot, friends. How have they only drawn 3 lands? They are 18 cards deep with 3 lands. How many? They've exiled 2, so 5 lands. That's 6 technically, I suppose. So they have 12 lands in the last 12 cards, right? Am I crazy here? Timeout used. Maybe it's nothing good. Glimmer Lens for Mirrodin. I wish I could play anything. Like, I've drawn 12 total cards, and I have 7 lands. Happens. It happens. Exile 3 cards against flying. You got it. Nice. Alright, we're going to definitely sacrifice the passage. We're not going to be getting another land here, guys. 100%. Never going to happen. And it even untapped. Look at that. Okay, we're going to next. We're going to attack in with this human. We're going to see what they do because they've got something. And if they don't, we're going to play the Kellen. I'm going to counter my Kellen. I want to turn him into a fairy rogue. Kill him. Kill him now! Boom. Nice. Feels bad, man. They drew their 5th land. So yeah, we're gonna good game that one. Good game. So we flooded out a little bit. Opponent had a pretty sick deck going on. Segued through a lot of really powerful cards real quickly. 2-2. Let's run it back. I was hoping that if I said it quickly that the next game would go really quickly or like pop really quickly. Not how that works sometimes. Like, oddly. I don't know why. Marsh. Dauntless Drafter. Let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna keep this. I think they mulliganed, and we've got a lot of options already. I think we hold for value on the Cosmogrand. And we lead with this, and we see what they've got going on. We can Cosmogrand next turn. They're gonna Black Lotus us turn 1. Okay, fair. Never mind. Maybe I'm completely wrong. That's an awful use of Black Lotus. Wait, no way. Did I just get Black Lotus Time Walk Ancestral recalled on turn 1? Where I need to. This is a turn 1. He Black Lotus Time Walk Ancestral recalled into a Lush Portico? There's no. That's crazy work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He plays a Mother of Runes with a polluted Delta. He has a polluted Delta in his Lush Portico deck? Brothers, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not playing Magic the Gathering like this guy is. Holy shit. Like, I thought I was playing Magic the Gathering, and this, holy hell, man. So, it's worth noting that this series of plays is not at all optimal, I'm assuming, for what he could do. Target creature loses all abilities. Sure.
Put on your true shape.
Create some tokens. We're gonna attack Oko. Target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base power toughness 3/3. Exchange control of target artifact or creature you control, and target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. So are you gonna give me Mother of Runes for Cosmogrand Zenith? Oh no, you're just gonna turn it into a 3/3.
Enchanting.
Jeez. Draw 2 on that. I'm just gonna all attack that. They're gonna block 1 and it's gonna take 4. Sure.
Quite the nibble.
We'll play the Coalition Relic. We'll put a charge counter. We'll end turn. We've got a Wrath of God, just no card advantage, which is looking really rough for us, honestly. Without any type of card advantage, this is going to be a hard one. What are they gonna do? They're gonna take 2 from the Steam vents. Sure. A dummy. Sure. Sacrifice a dummy. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Sure. Okay.
Trixie one.
And then I'm gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create 2 fish. I don't have fish, but I am gonna draw a card. Put a charge counter. You're just gonna turn that into a 3/3. Like, dude, Oko's insane, man.
Gaze into my face and put on your true shape.
A Death Ring Shaman. Not bad. Melds with Urza, Lord Protector. Thing is, I just don't have any, like, huge advantage here. Attacking with all. What you gonna sack here? I do think things are looking really rough.
May we meet again, or not?
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. So we're going to play this, and then we're going to kill everything. Yeah, end turn. Sorry, I probably should have added a counter to my coalition. Uro, not a bad one. They can 100% exile next turn, which is super annoying. Next, end turn. Discard this card, exile target artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Interesting. Golos, Tireless Pilgrim. That's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Search your library for a land card. Yeah, I do think I'm relatively screwed here. I'm just kind of like letting it play out because it's rude to like deprive him of his fun. I just don't think that there's anything that I'm going to be able to do against the 5-color deck when they're getting this late. Just remember, this is the Black Lotus Time Walk Ancestral Recall. Damn, I want to draft like that. Okay, so let's do this. Enters, counter, target spell, activated ability. Its controller draws a card. Okay. I draw a card. It's annoying. I do think I have to do that. And I'm going to put a charge counter. And then next turn I'm going to play Comet. Oh, Leyline Button. Are they going to hit my... They are. Okay. We're going to concede at that one. You got it. You got it, friend. See, and I would love to play a deck like that. I think maybe I indexed a little bit early on the white mid-rangey stuff that just didn't really do anything, and I didn't have enough of the power in blue. But not bad. A couple of packs. I do think I'm going to be saving up these packs. So with that said, thanks for joining me. If you enjoy watching drafts, get down and subscribe. Let me know. I do appreciate that, and I upload a new draft video every single day. Hope to see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.